while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can while you can and get up. Get what you can.
What is up, ladies and gents? I am back with a brand new Payday 2 video, and it felt like a disservice to use my regular intro to this video because, well, I'd rather show you what it is we're going to be talking about. But first of all, before we get into any of that, I disappeared again. I disappeared for about a month this time. Seems like it's something that happens virtually every other month right now. I go on an unexpected vacation, which it was no vacation, I'll be honest. I was sadly hard at work, and I disappeared off the internet altogether, so I apologize for anyone who tried to contact me over that period of time, but I had some very important things to get done. Now they are out the way. I now have a 5-week break from university. It seems like perfect timing to, well, rebuild, because I really have neglected the channel recently. And I guess here's a good building block. The Hardcore Henry packs. A brand new free update coming to Payday 2. One half of it is already here. The other half is on its way. And I'm going to be very excited to cover all this content over the next week or so. And it's amazing. I'll be honest with you. It is a collaboration event. Now, collaboration events have a bit of a shaky history within Payday, let's be honest. Everyone remembers Kick the Wick. John Wick was never the most exciting addition, but I mean, that film was fantastic and earned a sequel, but at the time, it was all about the addition of Old Hoxton coming back into the game. We got a 5th character, everyone was so excited, then suddenly, they just sort of threw in a 6th, and everyone was a little bit bewildered, to say the least. And so, yeah, it wasn't an exciting surprise. John Wick went down relatively poorly, I would say, and other collaborations I can think of, you know, going back to, say, the Chivalry pack, not one of the best DLCs if you ask me. It went down like a bit of a lead balloon. So, moving on, whenever I see a collaboration, you know, you have to look at it very carefully and see, is this going to work, or is this some sort of money grab? Now, Hardcore Henry is a brand new film releasing, I believe, on the 8th of April, so rather soon, in just a couple of weeks. So it's a perfectly timed promotional event. But this film is, well, it's something else. It's something altogether different. John Wick never quite fit Payday. I mean, he did in some ways, didn't in others. But this as we actually scroll down to see what has been said about it, I don't know why these pages have been changed to be a little bit more jumpy than usual. I agree entirely with the sentiment we see here. Hardcore Henry is an awesome movie. When we saw what the movie director Ilya had in mind with this film, we said yes straight away. Hardcore Henry represents so many things that make Payday 2 the game it is. The action, the high intensity, and the rush of adrenaline all resonates perfectly within Payday 2. Having the one and only Sharlto Copley become a part of Payday 2 with the introduction of Jimmy as a playable character is a dream come true. We in the Overkill crew are excited to see what the Payday heisters around the world think about our newest collaboration. So we're already doing things right, if you ask me, because we have the actor in the game not only doing a bit of promotional acting for Payday, but also lending his voice. Unlike, you know, the world-famous Keanu Reeves, whose character and sort of likeness may be in the game, but his voice and the soul of the character never made it. This is something altogether different. And Hardcore Henry, despite a silly-sounding, rather misleading name, is it's very different. First of all, it seems to be, in terms of its early reviews, doing very well. Considering at face value, it does not look like any sort of AAA box office hit. What it is a entirely first person action film. And if it is pulled off as well as it seems to be in this trailer we see right here, it could be amazing. And it could be the best thing that the Overkill developers have ever got involved with outside of the Payday universe. And I really do, in my heart of hearts, hope this goes well. Not only the film, but also the collaboration. And I hope the heists are fantastic. We get a little bit of insight into them, as you saw in my introduction from this trailer. Of course, all these trailers are going to be linked in the description below alongside the page I am viewing them on. And that way you guys are going to be able to take a look in your own time as well. It's such a nightmare to get this text to show up, but basically it's just a synopsis of what goes on in the trailer. So those are the trailers. Take a look at those in your own time. Let's move on over to the character, because that is, I guess, the main focus of this video. Bearing in mind the character has indeed been released, and over the next few days I'm going to be showing you more to do with the character, his weaponry, and of course the brand new perk deck, all of which has been added to the game entirely for free. So, the Hardcore Henry packs. Now, we're not going to be getting Hardcore Henry himself, who is, I believe, the first person, your view, I guess, in the movie. We are instead going to be getting another character, Jimmy. And Jimmy is who we saw in the trailer, and Jimmy is insane and seems to have one or two rather special powers. So, the Jimmy character pack allows heisters to play as the eccentric Jimmy. Other than himself, it includes the Maniac perk deck, Jimmy's masks, the specialist knives, and the Heather SMG, which introduces the ability to dual-wield SMGs in Payday 2. And that is something that we were all so excited for when the Akimbo feature was initially added. And finally, we're taking some steps in the right direction. Some fully auto Akimbo weapons will go down a treat within Payday 2. And I can't wait to show off one or two builds that I've been messing around with as far as they are concerned. Think a faster, more powerful version of the critical minigun build, which I so adore. And I just think it might pave the way to more interesting Akimbo weapons. I've always said some Akimbo shotguns could be fantastic fun. And so far from what I've seen, they've been pulled off really nicely. So, taking a look at his masks, well, they are of differing quality. Here's the initial mask that you see in all the trailers. And then here is his slightly better developed mask. So Jimmy hasn't really made that many masks before he made his signature mask. And it shows. His mask design captures his free spirit and his disregard to things as appearance, planning, and such. Good is good enough for Jimmy. He doesn't get stuck on details and wants to move forward at all times. Jimmy's second attempt at making a mask went much better. That's because he got some help from Gage. It represents the Grim Reaper himself if he was coked up. The mask captures both the crazy and deadly side of Jimmy, aiming to send fear into his enemies. Come on, Overkill! Grammatical mistakes, we haven't seen those in a while. But they really are going the whole hog with this character. Think about the characters we've paid for in the past. We got one mask. Well, you know, we got their mask, we got their Begins mask, which are both painfully similar. Here, we've got a very original, very different character mask in his first attempt, and then a more polished but different version of it altogether. Fantastic. Moving on to the SMG we were talking about. Originating from the motherland in the 90s, this piece of Russian engineering is Jimmy's favourite. He loves the weapon so much that he brings two to every fight. 2 new weapon mods have been added so you can shape the Heather SMG into the type of weapon you want. And you can indeed, in fact, you can go into battle with 3 of these. 2 is your primary and 1 of your secondary, so you can run this weapon as much as you want. His melee weapon is awesome, at least it looks awesome. And it's got some fantastic animations behind it, and I do recommend you take a look at the trailer video, which Almir walks you through. Again, link to that in the description below. A new melee weapon. Jimmy isn't the kind of guy that thinks less is more, which is why he dual wields his set of specialist knives. Moving on to the perk deck, which is, as ever, the most important part of any character pack, if you ask me, because it is where the uniqueness of the character comes from. Alright, This guy's got a couple of very unique voice lines, but really what we look for is how is it going to change up the gameplay, and the Maniac perk deck should do that. The embodiment of crazy is to never accept bad odds in moments of danger. By pushing through and constantly dealing damage, you and your fellow heisters will be granted a temporary shield, making all of you feel Jimmy's spirit. So not only is it a fantastic tool for yourself, but it also has a team play aspect which we don't see frequently enough, I feel, in other perk decks. Of course, Bonnie's does, but that was really just scratching the surface. So should we have a quick listen to what he has to say? He swears a fair bit, so you know, I hope you don't mind.
I will kill all of you, one by fucking one.
I'm just kidding. I scared you, didn't I?
And I think my favourite one is this.
Fucking drill is stuck as a fuck. Say that 3 times fucking fast. Fuck me, the drill is stuck as a fuck. Seems to be jammed.
I think he's a fantastic character, and I do think he's going to be very different to play around with in and of himself. As well as, of course, bringing some awesome new tools to the game. It's different. It's very different from what we've seen. I swear to God, this free update looks better than some of the paid character packs we have seen in the past, which is always good news. Overkill giving good content for free is exactly what we came to expect from the company in the first place, and some may argue has been lacking maybe in the last 12 months, and I'm hoping that the Hardcore Henry packs are a return to old form. Let's see how the heists go over the next week or so. I'm going to get back to playing around with this character and seeing exactly what he offers to the game, particularly his weaponry is what's got me interested. But though the perk deck sort of explained itself a little bit there, the way it essentially works is when you deal damage to enemies, you get stacks of a form of protection. Now, as you move along the perk deck, those stacks become stronger, you get a greater amount of protection from them, and they will deplete at a slower rate. But of course they are depleting, so you have to keep dealing damage and staying in combat, I guess in a similar way to how Grinder works. But I think that the key to it is that once you've leveled this up, I think it's the third perk, you're able to share those bonuses with your teammates. So everyone gets to run the perk deck, which is phenomenal. I think this might be a must-carry perk deck by one of the players within the team who's looking for that utility style of play. And with Payday obviously being seen as a highly cooperative game, things like this are exactly what we want to see. We want teams to be able to go out there, consider before they enter a heist who has what's going to help the team out, and min-max the overall heist. This sort of perk deck seems to be doing exactly that. So, first of all, massive props for the character pack. Let's hope the good fortune for us Payday fans continues over the next week or so. And of course, thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. I greatly appreciate it, because I know at times I've become very inconsistent and unreliable, I think is the word. I'm hoping to pick that back up again, like I did over Christmas, and get my upload rate and maybe set up a bit more of a schedule again while I am at home and able to do so. So that's a lot for watching this video, ladies and gents. I will see you all in the next one, wherein I'll be taking a closer look at the Maniac perk deck.